This video is going to be all about metric units. So, metric units are what we call a base 10 system. Now, what does it mean to be a base 10 system? Well, what that means is that we have the primary unit. And this might be, it could be meters, it could be liters, it could be grams. And as we go this way, we are going to multiply by 10 each place. And as we go this way, we are going to divide by 10. So let's go smaller than our primary unit first. Well, when we go smaller than our primary unit by one space, the first thing that we are going to come across is going to be called deciunits. And this is 1/10 of the primary unit. Then we have centiunits. If we divide by 10 again, we get 1/100th. Then we have milliunits, which is 1/1000th. As we go multiplying by 10, the first one we come along is decaunits. And this is 10 times our primary unit. So our primary unit is 1. Okay. Then after that, we would have hectounits and kilounits. So when we are converting within the metric system, okay, we could say have 348 centimeters, and we want to convert that to meters. Well, because when we start with our primary unit to get down to centi, we basically divide by 100. So there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So we can set this up with the unit conversions that we learned before. And this cancels out the centimeters and gives us 3.48 meters. However, the neat thing with metric is that we actually don't have to do this if we don't want to. Okay? Because what we can do is take that same 348 centimeters, okay? And every number has a decimal point right there at the end of it. Okay. So what we're going to do, see how centi, we've got 2 zeros. We're going to take that and move it 2 places. And that's going to give us 3.48 meters. So we want to move the decimal in the direction to get to the unit we're trying to get to. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Well, let's look at another example. Let's say that we want to convert 7 centimeters to millimeters. Okay. Well, if you notice, we have centimeters here and millimeters here. Okay. So in order to get from centimeters to millimeters, we have to take that decimal point that sits at all numbers and move it 1 place to the right. And when we do that, we get 70 millimeters. We have to fill in that space with a 0. And this is the same for every single conversion. So another unit that you're going to see, and this is just kind of a um, because of the course that we have, you're going to see something like this kind of weird looking U. Okay. And you'll typically see it with the G, grams. So this is micrograms. Okay. And you have a conversion. 1 milligram is equal to 1,000 micrograms. Okay. So for example, if you had, so if you notice, a microgram is much smaller than a milligram. So let's say that we had 7.3 micrograms, and we wanted to convert that to milligrams. Okay. Well, you notice we have 3 zeros. So we need to take this decimal and move it 1, 2, 3, and drop it. Okay. So that means that 7.3 micrograms is the same as 0.0073 milligrams. And this is really important when we're talking about the medical field. Some engineering uh, applications will use micro units. It's not very common unless you are in the medical field. Okay. So let's do a couple more here because I want to make sure that we've got this down. Okay. So let's change. And I want you to remember we have kilo, hecto, deca, and then we have our main unit. Then we have deci, centi, and milli. So let's change 5.6 centimeters to millimeters. Well, if you notice, there's only one space to go from centi to milli, and it goes to the right, which means that this is 56 millimeters. Now, what if we had 1,026 millimeters, and we want to millimeters, and we want to convert that to centimeters? Well, again, these are only two spaces away, or I'm sorry, one space away. They are only one space away, milli and centi. And in order to get from milli to centi, we go to the left. So this is 102.6 centimeters. So when you're dealing with metric, all you've got to do is move that decimal place however many times you need to. Okay, so let's look at one more here. Let's say that we have 0.045 kilograms, and we want to convert that to grams. Now remember, that gram, that's the main unit, okay? So first of all, think about it. Which way are we moving, right or left? If you said right, you're correct. To get from kilo to the main unit, we are moving to the right. Now, how many spaces? Well, we start at kilo. So imagine you're on a game board. You're here at kilo. You have to move to hecto, to deca, and then to your main unit. So that means that we are going to move that decimal place 1, 2, 3, and drop it. So that means that this 0.045 kilograms is equal to 45 grams. I hope this video is useful. Don't forget to reach out if you have questions. We are here to help.